Welcome back to YouTube. We are one day out. It is Friday. It is carb load day. You may notice we've got a good camera. Nidesh has made it to Germany. Credit to him. He was in hospital last week. Everybody pray for Nidesh. I'm glad to have him. Makes my life significantly easier. Makes the content better. And a lot less stress. So I'm glad. Hopefully you enjoyed the shitty vlogs. I'm not going to let Nidesh watch them because he'll be devastated. To be fair, this video will still probably be a combination of the camera and vlogs, just because when I'm eating meals back at home, I'll show you the meals, but Nidesh sitting in my hotel room all day just to film a meal is a bit pointless. But we are back in Evoland this morning. It is coming up to 10 a.m. We have the final session before getting on stage this morning, which I will run you through shortly. To update you, so yesterday was tough. We made weight, as you saw in that video. You saw the meals I ate up until the point I went to bed. At 1 a.m, I had an additional meal programmed by Kcal. So middle of the night, woke up to go to the bathroom, and he said have this meal, which was a rice pudding, 30 grams of isolate, 70 grams of rice pudding, some frozen fruit, 20 dark chocolate, 500 ml water, 1.5 grams of salt. So I ate that at about, well, it was about 1:30 a.m, went back to bed, woke up this morning at 212.6 pounds. So yeah, weight's not really shifted despite all the food, all the water. It's kicked into gear and it's finally responding a little bit. Finally gone to the bathroom as well. Bowel movements are finally moving, which is very good because it's been a few days. Today we have 6 meals provisionally listed. I'm 2 meals deep so far today, plus the meal at 2 a.m, so technically 3 meals deep. We had meal 1, which was 120 grams of rice pudding, whey isolate, dark chocolate, frozen berries, a litre of fluid in that first meal, 1.5 grams salt. And then I did a light 10-minute walk after that. And then at 9 a.m, I had meal 2, which was another 120 grams of rice pudding, some banana, some honey, some isolate, some dark chocolate, and I had 5 grams of fibre added to that meal with 300 ml water, 1.5 grams salt. And now 10 a.m. at training, which is in about 10 minutes time when we start training, I have 500 ml of fluids with that. I've had a serving of ESN Crank Pump Pro 2.0, which isn't out in the UK yet, but it is in Europe. Pre-workout, along with half a scoop of Crank, which is my usual pre-workout setup back at home. We're just letting that sit right now. We're gonna get a little warm-up in. Today's session programmed by Kcal, it is a pump session again, very similar to what I've been running the last few days. We're starting with some back today. I know they've got a piece of new tech in here that I love, so we're gonna use that, which I am a big fan of. So we've got a NutriGrip pull down. I'm going to do the new tech row, some rope pullovers, a chest press of choice, some cable flies, some side belts, some face pulls, some triceps, slightly with biceps. So literally very light pump, a little bit of back, and then a very light chest, shoulders, arms, basically similar to what I did yesterday. So basically the job here is just to move some blood, move some glycogen, move some of that food about. We've then got some post-workout posing that I will do. And that is that. So I'm feeling a little bit better this morning. I do genuinely think I gave myself heat stroke yesterday in that sauna. I was so disorientated and out of it for the rest of the day. I had cracked vision and shit, and it was not good. But I had a decent night's sleep, slept in a little bit more this morning, woke up about 6:30 as opposed to 4:30, which was nice. It was weird waking up and opening the curtain, it being bright outside. Went for a little walk in the sun as well after meal 1 for the digestion. And we're now in Evoland at 10 a.m. Obviously it's Friday, so FIBO has started. So actually the gym's a little bit quieter here because a lot more people, I say it's a little bit quieter, it's still fucking rammed, but most people are in FIBO. So it's not as bad as it was last night when we trained at like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. even. So it has only been 12 hours since I was last in here, weirdly. But needs must. We're gonna get this pump session done, get home, eat, and then it's the rest of the day is kind of just eat and chill. So we've got tanning at 3 p.m. So this show, we actually have tan the day before and the day off, which is good. And that is that. So I'm gonna go start just warming up a little bit, get some mobility done, and then we'll get into the session. I will talk you through the session a little bit more today. Just some of the new tech pieces, give you my thoughts and reviews. Still, you may see this t-shirt, it's very nice, from Gymshark, right? Lovely stuff. We've also got the 7-inch sport shorts on, that are the shorts I wear every single time. We've got the tactical rucksack, as always. And then my water in my ESN shaker, right? So everything at Gymshark is currently 50%, well, up to 50% off, plus a further 10% with code EAGLES. Mid-season sale is on. Stuff is going to sell out, right? So if you are watching this now, go and have a look what is left. Men's and women's, all on sale. My code works, obviously, all of it. So use that. Thank you for the support. ESN as well, we got 25% off everything for the FIBO week. So all your pre-workouts, all the rice pudding and the whey ice that you're seeing me eating, right? If you want a very good digesting carb, pick up the rice pudding. It is why I eat it for 90% of my meals during a carb load, because it sits so light and digests so well. So can't recommend it enough. You know that. It's all I eat all year round. So let's get to it. Feeling better. We'll get this session done and we'll get home and we will rest up ready for tomorrow. I have to say as well, when I had my tissue work with the guys here 2 days ago, they said I have the best mobility of any of the bodybuilders they've worked on. And they said the worst mobility they've ever seen on any bodybuilder. They work on everybody. Mike, they had Ruby L in there the other day, Phil, like everybody who comes to FIBO, they work on, right? So they work with all the guys. Everybody they've worked on over the years, worst mobility they've ever seen, Wesley. But they were very impressed with how soft all my muscles were. So clearly doing tissue work 2 to 3 times a week, this prep, has helped. One of my biggest pet peeve is when you go to athlete registration, and this one's especially annoying because it's 2 days before the show, and they force you to put your athlete wristband on there, and then it's like, I've already showered in it twice, I've trained in it once, this is my second session in it, now I'm trying to put straps over it, it's going to rip off. So just let me put it on the morning before I come to the show, just don't make me do it up there. It's, I don't know why they do it, it's very, very infuriating. It is probably because most people just lose it. But I wouldn't. So it's like, I'm an adult. Let me do what I want with it. Don't force me to put it on. I have just realised as well, when I was talking over there, I said I weighed in at 212.6, whatever it was this morning. That you probably sat there thinking, but your scales broke. They did. They were just spitting out random numbers yesterday every time I stepped on them. But my dad landed in Cologne yesterday afternoon. So obviously my mum ended up not being able to come out. Kyle ended up not being able to come out, but my dad made it out, which was nice. So he landed, so obviously my scale was broken and we got back from weigh-ins. I gave him a quick call because he's staying on the other side of the river in the main city bit, which obviously is a lot closer to some good shops. And just asked him like, oh, if you're around any decent shops and you try and pick up a scale, and within like 10 minutes he texted me a picture of an option of like 7 different bathroom scales of all different prices and brands. So I just got him to pick up the most expensive one, which is like a €45 scale, bathroom scale, which is mental. And bless him, he brought it straight over. So within like an hour of calling him, he was at our hotel with a brand new set of scales, just ready to drop it off. So everybody thanked him for saving a lot of stress yesterday. That has been unbelievable. And it's a serious set of scales, so I'm going to try and take them home. And it's German engineering, so you know, like in my head it's just more accurate because it's German. Probably made in China and shipped to Germany, but I bought it in Germany, so it's German. Can be vain and look at myself. That is cool that they've got mirrors. You need a big gym to have that though. It needs a lot of space to have mirrors just on wheels. If you do it in Ultraflex, you won't be able to wheel it in between the machines. And some knobhead would lean a plate against it and break it. And then all the others would just get their greasy hands and just smear down the mirror. Like every other mirror in Ultraflex, because for some reason the people in Rotherham just see a mirror. They have to cover it in handprints no matter what. We've got 2 arm overhand row, use straps. 4 sets of 8 reps, 15 seconds in between sets. Sets 3 and 4 will be tougher. 1 basically long set, it feels like. So we've got 8 reps, 15 seconds rest, 8 reps, 15 seconds rest. The hardest thing with doing this pump training is trying to gauge weight. So on machines I don't normally use, and I'm doing rep ranges, rest times I don't normally do. So I just don't have a clue. This is probably not the machine to use for an overhand row. I will openly admit that. Like, this is obviously meant for, it's got rotating handles on it. Meant for driving chill outs there, you get such a nice squeeze. Everything's like mega adjustable. I can move this forward and back, seat up and down, chest pad moves. The arms might move. You can do it unilateral. Like, I really do love new tech. I was in the lift this morning coming down the hotel to go out for my walk. There were 3 representatives from New Tech with their FIBO passes going to there. I did think about like, hey guys, I'm Jack. I'm not very good, but I love your equipment. But I didn't, bottled it, so. Kuba, if you're watching, I appreciate Kuba a lot, by the way, because I went in the gym the other day. I really want a Trained by JP times Granite hyperextension / GHD. I'll show you it one day. Went in to ask him if he was getting it for the gym or if I could buy it for the gym, because I really need it to grow my non-existent glutes, hamstrings, and whole posterior chain. It's called a posterior developer by Granite and Trained by JP. Walked in, said to Kuba, can we get this? And he's like, should have been here last Wednesday. So it's right now, it's probably there. It's coming this week. So unreal. But Kuba, if you're watching, mate, the seated row, inward rotation, new tech. Please can we get this? And every other new tech back piece. Pull over 3 sets of 15 with a 20-second isometric in between. Keep elbows in for deep stretch. Tilt, dip your head forward through outstretched arms. 3 times 15 with 20-second rest in an isometric. So isometric just means I'm going to sit in the stretch like this in between, which is going to really hurt. Kyle's technique here for programming this so specifically, I think with purposely foreign patterns and tempos and intensifiers, is because for the Netherlands, when he just told me go train, push, light, 3 reps in reserve at Wesley's gym, I just overdid it. I massively overtrained, I got carried away and cooked myself basically. So him programming this is just a way to manage me without being here and sort of pull me back while still me feeling like I'm pushing myself basically. So yeah, I think one thing Kyle's been fantastic at this prep, it's obviously our first season together, right? He is so quick at learning how to manage me as an athlete, how to manage my stress, my over-analysis. The other night, I think it was Tuesday, after a long travel day, before I started the Deep Week vlogs, we got here, I was still holding a lot of water and was not happy. I was really tired and he just made me go to the gym and move some blood. I didn't want to. He said, go and do it. And after, I felt so much better. And I called him and said to him, I was like, yeah, I didn't want to do that, but I feel a lot better after. And he's like, yeah, I knew you would. So he just knows how to manage me and stuff like that, and we're learning. You know, at the Netherlands, we didn't feed heavily enough. We've already put in twice the meals already so far than we did in the Netherlands. And here we've got twice the time as well. But we did 3 meals last night, 1 meal at midnight, and we did a further 2 meals this morning. Whereas at the Netherlands, we literally did 2 smaller meals after making weight before bed, and that was it till the morning. And then it was show day, and we fed quite light on show day. So we've taken what we learned at the Netherlands, and we're just learning from that, learning from our body, and we're, you know, getting better each time. So this whole show will be more data collection. We've now got the experience of having to fuck around in a sauna and pull off a silly amount of weight in a short time span. So we now have that for the future if we ever need it. Like, all these experiences, although they're obstacles, they're valuable, which I'm grateful to have at this point in my career when I am so young, because I then have it for the future, right? So two sets of 12, no 3-second eccentric today like yesterday, so we'll probably just pump out this for 2 sets with a short rest time and then get into some flies. You know, it's bad, right? This is absolutely rank. When I get dry at the end of prep, my fingers literally start splitting apart, like the skin cracks, and then like they'll literally bleed. It's brutal. So yeah, that's when you know you're getting dry into a new level of condition, when your skin just literally starts splitting on your fingertips.
So you just started that machine, right?
I've got 2 sets. I'll be 3 minutes plus 10 now, just out of spite. I'm going to sit here and give you my full rundown for the off season. Every meal we're going to eat, every like draining session I'm going to do, every hour of sleep every night for the next year. First time since the Netherlands where I've actually got feathers back in my quads. All the travel we were watery as fuck, so it's nice to see. My chest doesn't really have much going on. We're still very flat. We've got all the feathers back in the triceps. We're at least in condition. We may not have any muscle, but one thing I can do is get in shape. So that's something. I now just really need to nail the getting in shape whilst retaining some muscle, which basically just means I need more muscle in the first place. And then we need to be ready about 3 weeks out and then just reverse out into the show, not be pushing into the show. And we also can't go to an expo like the Arnold's UK a week before a show where I drop 4 pounds in a day, because that was a turning point. So that's what we've learned. Need more muscle and need to be ready a little bit earlier so I can just feed up into the show rather than be dead and malnourished at the show. All I can say, this is probably the hardest I've been in my life, which is cool. We're flat. I'm still not full at all, really. But condition is pretty fucking good. And I'm very hard, which is nice to see. My death face is the most sucked in it's ever been in my life. So nearly dying in a sauna has its perks, I guess. Right then, that was a session, last one, before competing tomorrow. It was a good one. Like I said, leanest I've been, most detailed I've ever been, driest, arguably probably a little bit too dry at this stage. Horrendously flat, need more fluid really, I think, to shuttle through the carbs and the sodium. So that will be done, that will be corrected the rest of today and tomorrow morning. So we're going to get back, I'm going to vlog my post-workout, and then we've got tanning in a few hours. And the rest of the day's feet up and chill. So catch you on the little vlog camera in a bit. Meal 3, it is a half hour later than we wanted it, but we're there, got it there. 120 grams lean meat, so that is the chicken, 10 grams olive oil, 360 grams of cooked weight rice. We then have 30 grams of dates here. 250 ml fluid total, which is there, or what's left of it, and 1.5 grams salt. A bit of cinnamon over the top, and a big spoon to get this meal in a little bit quicker. Right, I'm sure you are sick of me just sitting here listing what I'm eating, but meal 4, 2:30 p.m. I'm just about to go for tan literally as soon as I've nailed this. I'll stop showing you making me rice pudding at this point because you've seen it far too many times. 34 grams cinnamon cereal, whey isolate, 20 grams 90% dark chocolate, 120 grams of rice pudding, 90 grams of banana, like 30 grams of frozen berries. The difference here is we've only got 250 ml water with this meal, so it's a very dense rice pudding. 1.5 grams of salt, and that is that. I'm gonna go get my tan. We're gonna send pics plus weight at 3:45, and right after I've done that, we will nail 500 ml fluids. So he's just keeping the fluids separate from really the meals at this point. A little bit with the meal, and then assess the response and how that looks. And then I drink my water straight after. He's done that, so that is his approach. Certainly limiting water a lot more here now when we did last peak week, and also just pushing food a lot harder and pushing a lot more sodium. Right then, we're here back at the Expo Centre, here for tan. So yeah, you just saw the meal I ate. Tan now, back to the room, send photos to Kyle, check body weight, and then drink the 500ml fluids. Pretty thirsty, but yeah, I'm gonna get my tan. Em's gonna pick up her tickets as I'm getting my tan, and then that is that. You can tell that everybody thinks I'm Turkish. I was just laughing with Sass for ages because we were talking about the difference between USA Pro Tan, which is really bronze and great, and European Pro Tan. It's a different stuff. It feels a bit like greasy. And he was like, yeah, us sort of bronze guys. No, what did he say? Us olive guys. The bronze stuff sits better. You know, the white guys need the darker stuff. He's like, I know you're white, but you've got that olive twinge to you. I was like, yeah, everyone thinks I'm Turkish, mate. So we're laughing about that. And right now I have 0 tan on my face, and it's a little bit different, but not too dissimilar. I just look like one of those girls that picks up the wrong shade of makeup. So yeah, got to catch up with Sass. Was nice, giving me some words of wisdom. He was like asking how things have been, so I was catching him up. And then just, yeah, it was always great to talk to the veterans of the sport. So that was nice. And a fellow Bret who's going to win tomorrow, the Open. He's definitely the favourite. And if you've not watched Sass's 4 days of eating, please go and watch them. It is the funniest thing you will watch, especially if you're in prep. You'll enjoy it. It's just like 200 gram bowls of oats with like 150 grams of honey on it. It's crazy. Yeah, we're tanned up, nice and efficient. It was pro tan, so it was a little bit more efficient than the Netherlands tan, but we're going to walk back to the hotel now, get updates over to Kyle, and then get the feet up for the rest of the day. I've got some check-ins still to do. Need to make a thumbnail for the video going live in a few hours, and then just, yeah, legs up and rest now and let the food do its thing, let the drying out continue, and then we're back here tomorrow morning early for top coat of tan. I've got Emma a present that she's going to really appreciate. It's a tanning nappy that the men wear. I wear a sock, so I don't use it. So I thought you could have this for if you run out of underwear on our trip. Yeah, right, enough that. Let's crack on. It's 5 p.m. It's time for my next meal. I came to make it, and on the topic of shit going wrong that just doesn't normally go wrong. These kitchen scales, the really expensive 40 quid ones that have a lifetime warranty, this is my second set of, that I use for everything. They've packed in. They've just stopped working, so now I can't measure my salt, my olive oil. The big scale kind of works. You can't really see the numbers, it's fading, but you can see it a little bit. The micro scale here, this part's completely packed in, so I've now got my dad back at the Media Mart looking for a new set of scales. Regardless, we went old school. We did a 1/4 teaspoon of salt at Carl's request, which is very hard to work out with the weird teaspoons here. I just sent a picture and he said that's good. We've got 120 grams of chicken, 10 grams of olive oil, 360 grams of rice, 30 grams of dates, 250 ml fluid, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Should be 1.5 grams, done a 1/4 teaspoon. And that's where we're up to, so not going to stress. We'll sort the issue with the scales at some point, and just going to enjoy this meal. I'm quite hungry, so. Right. Bless my dad, he's out looking for a scale already. He's found normal kitchen scales, which are good. I've asked him to pick those up, but we're struggling to find a micro scale. So I went on Google Gemini, ChatGPT, to ask it, I'm in Cologne, I need a micro scale that measures to 0.1 grams. Where should I go? And it will obviously tell you. Gotta love AI. First place that it comes up to find a micro scale, 0.1 gram accuracy. Basically, the first option is in one head shop, vaporizer, shisha, and e-cigarette. It's basically just sending my dad to a load of smoke shops to buy micro scales. Yeah. Lucky him, but hopefully we can find some. Worst case, we've got normal kitchen scales, and then we'll just work off teaspoons and shit of salt like they used to back in the day. But yeah, vibes. Right, I've finished the chicken and rice. I'm going to enjoy my dates now. Coming up to 8 p.m. Now, a little bit late again than what we wanted, about half hour later than what we wanted. Carl was a little bit delayed in getting over this meal. But here we are. We've got rice pudding, My isolate, what a surprise. Lots of fruit, 120 grams of rice pudding. Difference is we've got 40 grams of 90% dark chocolate using this German Lindt. We are in Cologne, which after all, the Lindt factory where they produce all the Lindt is literally about 200 metres that way across the river. So I've got 40 grams of that. So I've got 30 grams in the rice pudding and I've got 10 grams square that I'm just going to eat on the side because I do enjoy the dark chocolate. And fitting 40 grams in that bowl, the whole thing would just be dark chocolate, which I don't want. A little bit too bitter then. So eat one square, 30 grams in there, so the max. We've only got 250ml fluid with this meal, so obviously for 120 grams of rice pudding, that's not enough. It's very, very dense, but we make it work. 100 grams of blueberries, 75 grams of raspberries, 1.5 grams salt, and 3 GDAs, which I can actually measure out now because thankfully my dad came over, the absolute legend, with the new scale, a very fancy one, very expensive, that to pay about for, obviously. Reimbursed him for yesterday's scales and today's scale, so he got 100 quid back. But very grateful for him. He's been an absolute lifesaver, sourcing stuff out so quickly and walking it over to me. So thank you, what a guy. So yeah, I'm going to apply the same logic to these scales as I did to the bathroom scales. German engineering, even though they're probably made in China and sent over, but they're more accurate. They actually are more accurate. They're crazy, these ones. They're also a lot more compact and lighter, so they're far better for traveling. Got a nice little case for the micro scale. The micro scale is also individually operated, which is better than the other one. So I've got an upgrade for both sets of scales here. So from a bad situation, we've actually turned away with a net positive. But yeah, here we have the meal to show you before I devour it. Rice pudding, whey isolate, dark chocolate. Going to sit over there on my little setup with my tan and my towels. And Fuad has just uploaded a new podcast. So we've got a new podcast to chill out to. Eat this, wait an hour, wait, photos to Kyle, 500ml fluid after I do that. And then the last meal I will also film for you, and I'm getting to bed. The last meal is going to be beef mince with a bit more substance just to hold everything together. So that is that. And then we'll wrap this video up because you've just seen me eat so much rice pudding and food at this point. I'll show you the beef mince meal because it was the meal that I was meant to show you last night that I ate then. But I didn't get to show you because I did film it, but the footage corrupted in yesterday's video. That video has just gone live, by the way. Obviously you've watched it by now, but that is done. Finally, the editing is done. It's been a very long day. I've only just finished check-ins and it's 8 PM at night. It's been a very busy day, very stressful day, but we're there. Hopefully you have enjoyed the YouTube vlogs I've done. Very glad I did do them because it meant you guys have got some content. But I need to eat this, chill out for a little bit, watch a podcast, send over my stuff in a bit, and the final meal is probably going to be about 10 PM at this rate, maybe 10:30, and then we'll get to bed. Wake up tomorrow. I think we're doing another meal at midnight tonight, middle of the night, so we'll do another beef mince meal tonight, go to bed, meal in the middle of the night, and then wake up and assess weight there. But weight is, I reckon, on stage tomorrow at this rate, I'm going to be 10 pounds heavier than I was in the Netherlands, which is very exciting. Maybe a little bit more, which is what we needed. They wanted full, we're fucking bringing full. And I'm excited. The look seems to be progressing nicely. I'm happy. So, and if I can see it and I'm happy, it must be changing. So yeah, we're going to eat this and I'll catch you for meal 7 in a little bit because this is meal 6. Good evening. So, final meal is here. It is 20 past 10, so it's eating about 10:30. Meal 7, technically meal 8 if you're counting the 2 AM meal I ate last night. So we've put some food away today, which is great. Big difference, stark difference to this and the Netherlands. I'm going to bed about 10 pounds heavier. Obviously I'm going to drop a bit of water overnight, meant to be expected. Right, this is what Kyle calls a big boy meal. Similar to what we did last night before bed, that the file corrupted, so you never actually saw it. But bowl number 1, right, we have 225 grams, which is the cooked weight of 5% beef mince. It's about 240 grams raw weight, 250 raw weight, around there. 180 grams of cooked weight jasmine rice in there. On that, I will put my 1.5 grams salt that is weighed out on my nice new German precision scales. And then coming out of the microwave now, we have bowl number 2, which you can see there is 90 grams rice pudding with 250ml fluid, 200ml fluid in there because I've had the other 50ml fluid to drink. And then on that is 90 grams of fruit, which is 70 grams of banana, 20 grams of berries. I'm going to add to it now. And obviously in there we've got melted in 20 grams of 9% dark chocolate. So that is the meal. 3 GDAs, with that, which I will have. And yeah, I'm going to get this down. We're going to wrap this video up here because I'm so fucking tired. I need to get this footage done off so it can be edited, because finally I'm not the one editing it, which I'm very grateful for. It's been a long day. We're going to check scale weight before I go to bed, and I'll text that to Kcal, and then that'll dictate whether we do a midnight meal again or if we just wait for the morning. So we've got the schedule for the morning for Kcal and I. I'm checking in 6:30, so I need to get to bed, have a good night's sleep. But yeah, I'm going to go enjoy this nice big meal before bed. Food's sitting so well, stomach's tight. Scale weight's trending in the right direction. Obviously going to dry off overnight, and then we're on stage about 11:30, 12 a.m. 11:30 a.m, 12 p.m, around about there, midday tomorrow for prejudging, and then finals are at 7 p.m. at night. So we actually have time to make some changes between prejudging and finals of this show, which is exciting. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for show day. Very exciting. This concludes the 1 day out carb load, a big carb load. I have no idea where calories are at. Might give a rough calculation tomorrow for the title of this video. I reckon we're closing in on 5,500, 6,000, maybe a little bit more, if you include the midnight meal and maybe tonight's midnight meal. So 9 meals in total, so definitely over about 6K, which is cool. All clean food, literally all rice and chicken or beef, and then rice pudding and whey isolate. So thanks for watching, appreciate the support. Tomorrow's show day, let's get it.